Hey everybody, Mr. Hartnagel here, and welcome to another episode of Beyond the View, the podcast where I interview our alums who are currently in college. On today's episode, we have Lily. Some students decide, I'm going to go to school close to home. Some will stay in state, but others sometimes go all the way across the country, and that was the case with Lily. She decided to go to Oregon State University, home of the Beavers. And we got to talk a lot about what it's like living in Oregon and especially being on Pacific Coast time, what it's like being part of her major, and what she does outside of school, especially being in the wilderness of Oregon. So it was a great episode, great to catch up with Lily. So I hope you enjoy and check back every month for a new episode. But without further ado, enjoy the show. Lily, welcome to the Beyond the View podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to the Beyond View podcast. It's a cool name.
Thank you. Thank you. ChatGPT said that was its best option right there. So we went with it.
Okay. Yeah.
But thanks for giving me some of your time. First and foremost, what time zone are you in right now?
I'm in Pacific time, so
So for our viewers, I'm wearing the Oregon State polo as you are at Oregon State University. How long did it take for you to get adjusted to Pacific time?
I think it took me only just a day, frankly. I
Really?
don't know what time my flight was at when I first moved, but like the time zone, I don't know, it's similar to like I don't have much jet lag or anything, and it just feels like you have to go to sleep early compared to the East Coast. Like I'm 3 hours behind everyone on the East Coast, so when I
Yeah.
say goodnight to my parents, it's 8 p.m. for me and it's 11 p.m. for them. So not too difficult from what I can remember.
Was it difficult going back home and then readjusting back to East Coast?
Yeah, that's always really difficult whenever I'm home for the holidays. Readjusting to East Coast time definitely takes a few days, and I'll typically just stay on Pacific time if I'm only there for maybe like a week and stay up till like 1 a.m. and go really late.
Let's take it back to the beginning, which let's take it back to your senior year. You entered your senior year, as I recall, your number one school was Embry-Riddle.
Oh, yeah.
Then, yep.
Oh,
Then
God.
we added a few more schools to your list, and you had Oregon, Oregon State, Colorado. What do you remember about that process, your senior year, and going through your selection of schools, ultimately picking Oregon State?
Well, yeah. I remember being very dead set on Embry-Riddle, and my parents and you encouraged me to look for other schools, and I kind of always knew in the back of my mind that I was interested, oops, that I was interested in going to a place with mountains and doing things, being able to do things that I know I love doing, so like skiing, hiking, climbing, all the things that I was very much into but can't really do in Florida. And then I think I do remember not really being too sure what I wanted to study. Like I was very focused on like meteorology and atmospheric sciences of the sort. And then that was kind of like my main driver. And it's still like I'm still very much in that same realm today.
I remember as well, you went out to go visit both Oregon and Oregon State kind of back to back. What was it about when you visited Corvallis, home of Oregon State, for those who don't know? What was it about that visit to Oregon State that sold you that this was it?
Well, it's kind of funny. It was a very Corvallis day, which means like when people think like of the Pacific Northwest, they think like it's rainy and it's gray, and that is exactly like the day it was. It was very rainy. My mom and I got soaked. Of course, we were both wearing jeans, and that was not fun. And it was very gray. Um, and it was I had a meeting with, I think it was just a college advisor, like one of the advisors in the college that I was going into and still am in. It's called College of Earth, Ocean, and Atmospheric Science. So CEOS for short. And they had this, like these opportunities that at the time really just intrigued me. They were like, we have an ice core lab. We have like the second largest ice core sample in the world housed here. We have, all of these like to me they were super like shiny objects and like so cool. Um, I guess scientific things, and they have like OSU has like 4 or 5 vessels that for research. And I just saw that there was a lot of opportunity at OSU for science. Like it just like science was everywhere. And I knew that I really wanted to be in science. Um, but yeah, Corvallis is like good sized town vibes, like still small, close to the mountains. And then I remember seeing that they had 2 rock climbing gyms on campus and like a place where you could like rent gear. And I was like, oh my God, like I need to go here. And but also was still very much the Embry-Riddle mindset
Yeah.
at the time too. And but yeah, that like I very much knew when I visited that I was like, yeah, I could live here. This is a place I would call home for 4 years.
So you get to campus, you're now enrolled as a freshman. What was your first, wow, I'm in college moment? Did you have one that kind of really hit you as like I'm now in college. This is different. I'm on my own.
I'd say it's kind of something that was more gradual. It wasn't as much of like when my parents left my dorm from dropping me off. Like it wasn't exactly that. I'd say it was just kind of like at first, like getting into classes, doing things differently than they were done at high school was kind of what did it for me. Being able to like make my own decision, like having to make my own decisions more in life, like deciding what I was going to do with like the rest of my day, and like I could just walk somewhere and do it was probably one of like the moments where I was like, wow, like I am making decisions for myself now. Like I am, this is college. Probably like a combination between that and then things becoming like academically more challenging in a way and being
Yeah,
like, oh geez, okay, like I'm in college now. Like this isn't
right.
what Grandview was.
So speaking of academics, so what is your major as of today?
As of today, I am studying environmental science with a concentration in climate change solutions as well. I'm pursuing a certificate in adventure leadership. So
Very nice. What made you, I mean, it's not a total shift, right? It's not like you went from, a completely different college, but why focus now on these areas?
like I originally went to OSU or came to OSU studying climate science as a major, and OSU at the time at least was one of the only universities you could study climate science as an undergraduate student. And I was like, cool, I don't really know what that means if I need to go to even higher education.
So you went from climate science to now environmental science, right?
Yes, yeah.
So why the little bit of a shift?
Math. Math is the reason for this shift. I think climate science is very similar to oceanography, if anyone's more familiar with that who's
Yeah.
listening. But it's a lot of physics. It's either physics, chemistry, or math, which is just like vectors, which is just physics. And so I did a lot of that, and I went all the way to vector calculus. I learned to love math, but it was not for me, and I want to be successful in what I want to do in life. And I was like, cool, this is clearly the world's way of telling me maybe look into something different. And I definitely struggled with changing my major for a while, especially because I came to OSU for climate science. Anyway, so then I sat down, I guess long story short, sat down with the climate science director. I just like ran into her one day while I was grabbing like some caffeine for myself and she was doing the same. And she was like, "Oh, I have something like excellent to tell you." She's like, "We're opening up this new certificate program that will be an option for my environmental science students. But it's called Climate Change Solutions, like, and that's what the focus will be of the certificate." And I was like, "Really?" Like, I was thinking of switching to environmental science. Like, I'd totally do it. She's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it now. Like, I'll literally go make the change now." And she's like, "Cool, you're the first person to join." And it's not even out yet. And like until it was like I still had like 2 more weeks until like the it was officially put into the program. So that's kind of ended up how I made the switch. It was definitely like super scary for me and was something that like I had been debating for 2 terms, which is only 10 weeks for me. That's the other thing, too, if people don't know, is that like my I have 3 terms, so it's like the Pacific Northwest like school system is made up of a fall, winter, and spring term, and they're all 10 weeks long. So super quick, short terms. So we don't have like I think it's just like fall and spring term.
Yes, week fall, 16 week spring.
Yeah, so we don't have that. So like over the course of like 2, 3 terms, so like a year, I had already been thinking of like I wanted to make a switch, but I didn't know. I was too scared to.
Are you happy with the switch?
Yes, very. I'm very happy with it.
And how's this new program going with not just the certificate, but you're also doing right a minor, correct?
It's like a certificate program
Okay,
as
but
well.
isn't there a minor also in you said adventure?
It's not a minor, it's just a certificate.
Oh, it's an okay.
It's just another certificate. So 2 certificates and a bachelor's is
Oh,
essentially.
nice.
And then with the other certificate, adventure leadership, that I started pursuing spring of my freshman year. And that I absolutely love. Like it's definitely been like one of the biggest parts of my college experience so far because there's a lot that like goes into it. And now I work for like the department that does that in a ton of different ways. So, yeah.
So let's go into it. So I'm assuming you've gone on now some trips. You've been able to explore a little bit. What's it like being in this certificate program? What's it like working for them? And tell me some of the trips you've been on.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll start with some of the trips I've been on because they're a ton of fun and classes. So, I guess a little bit of like forming information is that it's called the Adventure Leadership Institute, which is ALI for short. And it's a part of the Department of Recreation Sports that we have on campus. And so then they offer unique certificate experience, but also a ton of other experiences for those that aren't interested. And I guess what I mean is that when in the certificate, when you are pursuing it, you have to complete a kind of like a learn how to be an outdoor leader. I don't exactly remember what it's like the actual course title is called, but it's like learning how to be an outdoor leader essentially. It's called Lead 430 for short. And then you have to become a wilderness first responder. So now I have like a remote wild med certification, and that is like globally recognized. And so you have to complete that as well as you have to teach 2 courses. So you become a full TA as an undergrad and teach
Wow.
college level courses. And then you have to guide 2 overnight trips and guide 1 day trip. And so far, I haven't completed my teaching experience just yet. It just hasn't worked with my schedule, and I've just been gaining experience to be able to teach. I have guided, or I guess I've taken the classes I've taken because this is fun. I've taken Mountaineering 1, like essentially learning how to climb mountains, and perform rescues. So, taken Mountaineering 1, I've taken Mountaineering 2, which is just the higher, much more technical course. And Um, in college now, I'd say I like I rock climb a lot. I work at a rock climbing gym now, if that says something too. And so then I took Rock 3, which is like a highly technical rock climbing course. And if anyone listening is familiar with um, like multi-pitching, big wall climbing, trad climbing, all of those were covered in that course. And so it's not like a certification, but you learn how to do it. And so now I go do all of these things by myself regularly with friends. So I've taken those classes as well as a couple of small ones that are only like a few days long. And then I guess regarding like trip experience, in the certificate program, you have to get hired on as a guide. And like we're called field staff,
Hmm.
but we're essentially like just college student guides who have this experience, and you go on to teach like students who maybe it's their first time or maybe they're a bit more familiar with what it is. And so far I've guided or been like a trip assistant. So I've assisted the teacher. It's similar to a TA, but it's just you're guiding, helping
Hmm.
them
Yeah.
essentially. And so I've done that with a mountaineering one course, and that was up on Mount Hood. We didn't climb Mount Hood, but it taught everyone how to do the skills required
Yeah.
to climb Mount Hood. And then I went to go get my ARI one certification, which is an avalanche rescue certification. And so I have that. And then I taught a avalanche awareness course. So then I helped the teacher teach that for the
Very
day.
cool.
And so that was like they're so much fun. They're it's definitely like the best experiences I've ever had in life being able to teach people, and they offer a lot of really cool chances for you to grow outdoors. So it's like I've now like I'll complete a rock guide school, so I'll become like soon. So I'll become a certified like rock guide instructor for the university.
Hmm.
And now I have a raft guide certification and a whitewater rescue certification. So I've been ranking up these
I was
certifications.
gonna say you're piling up. You got all the like the merit patches for an Eagle Scout.
Exactly, exactly. And so now I'm a raft guide as well as whitewater rescue certified. So if there's a flash flood in Oregon, I will be one of the first people that call.
Very cool.
Um, yeah, it's a really cool program. And I work as I call it the summer of five jobs of where I'm working currently five positions for
Wow.
ALI, and it's a ton of fun. I've all of my friends, or most of them that I've met in college, are also in this ALI department. We borderline kind of call it a cult in a way. We're in our own little corner of the rec center and everything. Um, and yeah, no, it's literally been the most amazing thing for me and my, frankly, like my whole life, like college experience wise.
So shifting gears a bit, you talked about some of your experiences and being out and about in Oregon. Describe to somebody what Corvallis is like, and then just your favorite parts of Corvallis. And if you were to recommend a place for someone to go eat somewhere out in Corvallis, like what's your favorite spot right now?
To eat, God, I'm not even in like Corvallis that much. Like I like every weekend in college, my goal has been to just be out of Corvallis, but I'm becoming more familiar.
Or
Favorite
best
spot
place in Oregon? Best
oh,
place in Oregon right
to
now.
eat?
Yeah.
Um, Wild Rose in Bend, Oregon, hands down, best food you will ever have. It's
Okay.
like yeah, good. I think it's like Thai fusion of sort, but it's like very like much like Thai kind of street food. It's a
Okay.
restaurant. Hands down, Wild Rose at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. But what's it like being in Oregon? What's it like being, out in the Pacific Northwest?
Well, it is gray sometimes. I think that's what everyone's going to be curious about first is yes, it is gray sometimes, most
Yeah.
of the time. But it's currently sunny, blue, and like, I don't know, maybe like 60 degrees out right now, but it'll
Oh,
get
that's
to like
nice.
86 today. So the in the summer have been amazing. And it's wet. Like, Oregon is wet. You don't use an umbrella. You wear rain jackets. If you come to Oregon for like during our rainy season, which is fall, winter, spring. You, yeah, just get a nice rain jacket and some rain pants if you're gonna be out in the outdoors, and some like leather shoes are really helpful. Like I came to college with Converse, and I still have them that I came with from high school. Like I do not wear them that much when it's raining. I got myself some waterproof shoes,
There you
and
go.
that's what I will wear when it's rainy. People wear jeans. I have not become that type of Oregonian yet. But the nature is like it's so cool. You have like everything in the state. You've got mountains, which are essentially just volcanoes. So you're climbing or seeing volcanoes that are not that active. Some of them are kind of active. And then I've never felt an earthquake, so that hasn't been.
I was about to say, I know that you were worried about that.
Yes, I was, and I still am. And apparently there was one here yesterday, but it was so small that no one felt it. It was like on the northern part of town, and I saw it on like I have like a little radar notification for it. And no, although the Cascadia earthquake, that terrifies me. The big we call it the big one.
Okay.
But that's not supposed to happen until like 3, 2, 1, or until the next like couple hundred years.
Yeah.
And that's how all my professors state it. They always go 3, 2, 1. And it's like, and then yeah, and then we have like the high desert on the eastern side of Oregon, and then it's very rainy on the western side of the Cascadia mountain range, and lots of trees. It's very green year round, like super green.
Nice.
At least on the western side. Cardinal directions are also like east and west have been a big shift. Like I have to think about it for moving from Florida to here too.
Is there anything from any experience from your time at Grandview that has been the most impactful now in college that, you know, because of what you went through, learned, did at Grandview, you could really see it translate, has been the most impactful?
I'd say the ability that I've like at Grandview, I had great environment for learning how to advocate for myself for a ton of different reasons. I actually was reading through my college essay the other day for Josh, and and I was like, yeah, I talk about like being able to advocate for myself, but no, truly like learning that in at Grandview throughout, frankly, my entire time there has been the biggest help for me because I'm usually one of the only consistent students who attends office hours. Like
Nice.
it's not a common thing.
No, it's not.
Or who goes to the teacher who is kind of, sometimes, yeah, low-key kind of scary, but I'm like, hey, I need something, and I need
Yeah.
help from you, and I want to, pass and succeed in your course, and you were the one who fit my schedule, and we're gonna make it work. Like,
Yep.
we're gonna make it work. And so, yeah, definitely having the ability to advocate for myself, know what I need, know what I want to get out of the class, and talk to my professors about it is definitely the strongest and I think, frankly, the most important quality to have when going into college, or else, sure, those unique individuals can definitely make it, but it's going to help make or break your college experience, and especially change up the way that you have relationships with professors and those around you.
And we'll end with what's next for you. I can't believe you're already 2 years down, two to go. What's next for you? What's coming up?
Oh God. I don't know. I mean, like, it's like I'm learning something new every day. Just, yeah, the goal is just kind of figuring out what I want to do in life. Like, I'm still very much like, I don't know what I want to do after college, and I've learned to kind of just be okay with that.
Yeah.
And that was something that used to stress the crap out of me. And then I realized that also nobody knows what they're going to do after college besides like maybe 5 people, but even then, they still have like 6 options that they're thinking of going down. And yeah, just kind of like playing around with those ideas, looking for opportunities. Like I've been applying to internships to gain experience and see kind of with what I want to do with my life. I've just kind of been playing around with things that I can do with my life. And I think I'm just going to continue to do that until I graduate, and then I will end up where I end up, and where that is, I don't know. Actually, like, I have no clue. All I know is that I am happy on the West Coast, and I think growing up on the East Coast, I'm satisfied with my time there.
So you mean you won't be coming back to teach at Grandview anytime soon?
Unless I really need a job, Florida was great for the time being, but I have my reserves about it.
So, well, maybe one of these Taz trips that goes out west, maybe you can lead one of those in the future.
I was trying to get Josh to help coordinate that. I was like, dude.
But Lily, again, thank you so much. I do hope to come out and visit one day. I've heard nothing but great things about just how beautiful it is out there, and hopefully, I do hope to see both campuses, the Oregon State and that other one in Eugene. But no, I'm glad that you're enjoying it, and that you're out there, that you're out in nature as much as possible, and hope it continues to get better, and that you do more trips and you get more certifications, and hopefully no one you lead will ever get lost, and you bring everybody back safely.
We try.
Yeah. But thanks again so much, and we'll tell everybody here you say hey.
Of course. Well, thank you for your time. That's all. An interview.